Hi, and welcome to Sixcess Stories. We are your hosts, Christina Gent.
And Eric Ozarowski.
And this is where we talk to our members about real conversations, life, leadership, the power of meaningful connections. So on this episode, we have Paige Wilhide, who is the founder of Yes & Co.
Yes, and in this episode, we get into a few things with Paige that were really fun. We talk about her journey through being an actor and how that turned into her discovering that it was really a source of external validation, which led to burnout, and how she discovered improv and her improv journey. We get into a little bit of a touchy subject, I guess, about criticism and how criticism feels super personal when it's attacking our deepest insecurities. And we talk about improv as a way of being and a way of life. We improv every day, and just kind of improv as a philosophy, as a religion a little bit, and what Paige's vision for bringing more play into people's lives is.
Yes, and no, it was honestly, for me, I related to so much of what she shared just because I have a background in theater as well. So it was really lovely, and it was so fun. It was such a fun episode, which is exactly what she brings to her company and her clients, the people that she's working with. So I think on the episode, she was like, I did my job. I did it. Right? She did exactly what she does with people. Her personality shines through on this episode. It's a really lovely listen. So please enjoy this episode of Sixcess Stories. It's so easy, I feel like, because it's just hanging out.
Just hanging out. And
Yeah.
like, this is actually a really comfortable space.
Yeah.
You feel like you're like in a living room.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So this is like the green room?
This is the green room, typically for the gold room, the little one that's right back here.
Okay.
And then there's another green room on the other side of the men's bathroom, which has its own private bathroom that's typically reserved for the main room.
Okay.
But
yeah.
as far as comedy clubs go, a green room like this is unheard of.
No, it is.
Especially for like both of the two
To
rooms that
separate
they
people.
have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that when we sat down, so we actually had Casey, who's the owner, we had him on the podcast back in August, and it was really nice to just
listen to like the beginning of his episode.
Yeah. So it was nice just to like hear his story and the why behind why they want to make the hospitality part of this so important. It's just different from what most comedy clubs do.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So.
And that's what you have a hospitality background, and that's probably aligned from what the stories you've told about like the pizza restaurant. It sounds like
Lots of synergy with what he's
Yeah.
doing, what they're doing at Mic Drop, and what I just believe in.
totally so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I gotta come here and see a show.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. Oh, it's cool just to sit in here and be like, there's been some really dope people who literally sat in this room and preparing for their show
fly on
and
this wall.
right?
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
That's awesome.
I don't know that I realize that you haven't been here at all.
I haven't been here. Yeah, I
think
didn't even know where
you
I
might be
I don't
the-
know where I am right now.
You might be the first person that hasn't been here at all.
Yeah, just because our last two holiday parties were here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So most
okay.
people have been here for at least that, which it's funny because when they've come now to do this,
Yeah.
it's so transformed from what we like. We clear out all the furniture. They come through a different door. Like we've completely flipped the place.
We've
whenever done
confused
it.
people.
It doesn't look like a comedy club when they come in.
Yeah, I mean it's
Like-
just it's a completely.
We've confused a lot of people. Because our entrance will be like in the back door kind of thing. Like we flip
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So
And-
do people come here? They're like, I've never been here. You're like, no, you were at the holiday
Yeah.
party.
Most of the time they're just trying to get in at the wrong door. They're like, I thought this was the front door.
Oh my god.
It's pretty
Yeah.
You're like, we switched it around.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Cool.
So we start each of these with a check-in. I think just because of knowing you, and this would be fun. How could I make this more playful?
Ooh.
I want to do energy, but let's do energy in a playful. How can we make it a how can we describe energy, but like in a playful way of where it's.
How about like, well, it's a podcast, so we can't really do like a body expression, but maybe without a word, expressing how you're feeling, just using sounds.
Ooh. Okay. Well, you said a word, so I have a word that came to my mind.
No, she said without a word.
But what was your word that came to mind?
Well, okay. Well, I don't know how to make a sound. My word is bubbles.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
How do I do bubbles?
I think you can do it. I believe in you.
What? Like a... I almost want to like pop a bubble with spit, but that's disgusting. Like, I don't know, but that's not bubbles.
I love that.
Is that bubbles?
Yeah. I love that. Yes. We can totally interpret that as bubbles.
All right, bubbles.
Okay, so a visual word, or like a word that's maybe not typical of an emotion. Is that kind of the
Yeah,
prompt?
So for me, like I feel my energy is definitely it's in my stomach. Like it's very much here. And so like the bubbles, like that's where bubbles came from.
That's kind of like what I was thinking of.
I just pictured like a milk carton or like a glass of milk and the bubbles that could happen.
Oh, like blowing into the straw.
Like blowing bubbles.
Blowing bubbles. How do you make that sound?
I don't know.
Wow, they're going to have some fun listening to this.
All right, who's next?
Do you have one?
Let's see. I feel this like a contraction sort of. There's just some tightness through my chest right now, and I'm picturing kind of like a gate that's closing. So it's like like a rickety,
like a haunted door kind of thing.
I'm feeling like a rickety haunted door.
Hey, it's spooky season, so that's perfect.
Maybe that's just like, that's what I'm feeling. That's the fall vibes. The fall vibes, yeah.
All right, Eric.
The feeling is in my hands, and it's like getting things out of my hands, but I don't, it's like a whoosh kind of.
Yeah.
That's clear.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I can see it, though.
We don't need a meaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does a rickety door mean? I mean, it just is. Yeah.
It just is.
That's
fun.
Okay, so that was probably the most fun check-in we've ever had.
Yay! My job's done.
That's amazing. Well, I'd love to. I mean, it's honestly even been a while since you and I had our first ever call together, and that's kind of where we dove into more of your story and your background. I mean, instant connection, just because I have a theater degree, so that was like, oh, okay, my people. So I would love to hear, like, I guess, what was the first age that you remember performance in theater, and like, this is who I feel I am?
Well, this is actually pre-memories, but my mom tells me to this day, she'll still bring this up, is, you know, when babies wake up and they're crying in their crib, I would never cry. I would just stand at the edge of my crib and sing. And that's how she knew I was awake. So I think that kind of like set the tone for who I am in the world, is just like, la-da-da-da-da, you know, it's just like I'm just singing and sharing my light and my play throughout the world. But I think my very first time being in plays and in theater was when I was in first or second grade. There was kind of this after school theater program, and they would come in and we would do a show that was just, you know, no one had ever heard of it. It was written by a random kids theater company.
Sure.
And we did a show called Santa Knows Best, and I was cast as this bratty child who wanted everything from Santa and got mad at Santa when Santa didn't give me the things that I wanted. And it was so much fun. And I just remember I felt this connection to the audience. Like I could feel the audience eating up what I was doing in my performance, and just like laughing and really connecting with it. And I was like, oh, I think this is a thing that I want to keep doing. Yeah. I love this so much. And it was just from there that I started doing a lot of theater. I did some professional theater when I was in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade.
Okay.
And it was called it was a dinner theater, the local dinner theater. And I was cast in these shows that were based on shows that you would read in school, or based on books that you would read in school. Like Tuck Everlasting was one of the shows that we did.
Tuck Everlasting?
Yeah. Do you remember that book?
Literally would never have recalled that book until just now, and I was obsessed with it.
It's actually a really, like, philosophical book. Like, it's got a big question of, would you live forever if you...
would I drink the water?
Would you, if you could? Yeah. It was very deep. But I had so much fun. Like, I was cast in that show, and so... like school kids would come on field trips during the day to come see these shows. And I felt so special. I was pulled out of school to like do these shows. And one time my class came and saw it. And it was just like it was very cool. So I was always into theater and always wanting to be performing. And anywhere I went, I would find the stage, you know, and if there wasn't one, I would make one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how did that translate? So after high school, was it school specifically for the arts, or what did that look like?
I auditioned for some theater programs for college, but I ended up going to University of Maryland and just getting a straight communication degree.
Okay.
I was still, I had this idea that a theater degree wouldn't make me money. It was that kind of battling my desire and my passion versus what's the thing that's going to be practical and climb the ladder and the things that'll make my parents happy or make my parents proud of me, right? Yeah. It was kind of that battle. And so I ended up choosing the communication degree from Maryland, getting a, solid education. And actually right after I graduated from Maryland, I moved to Japan, where I couldn't communicate. And so, I didn't speak Japanese. So it was a very interesting experience because I got this travel bug, and I was like, I really want to get out and see the world and talk to people. And through that experience, I learned so much about nonverbal communication and how do you send a message to somebody when words won't do it, when you don't know the words to use. And this was kind of before Google Translate and all the tools that we have now. It was such a beautiful lesson in communication at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I just for the travels that I've done and just being able to identify maybe a word or two here or there, but everything else was really, it's the nonverbal communication, which is 93%, right? It's mostly our tone and our body language. So
eye contact, all of that. Mm-hmm.
So then, how long were you in Japan?
Yeah, what year was that?
I was there 2008 to 2009, so just a year.
Okay.
I didn't renew for whatever reason. I kind of wanted to stay there, but then I was also homesick, so I ended up coming home. And from there, I moved to New York City.
Okay.
And that was where I was like, if I'm going to do the acting thing, I'm going to really, really give it a go, and I'm really going to try. So I moved up to New York. I started going on auditions. I was taking classes. I was nannying in the morning, working in restaurants at night, doing the whole New York City hustle, which was so fun for that time in my life. I had all the energy and possibility in the world at my fingertips, and I was like, let's go. This was also pre my personal development journey. And so I was really hooked on people's validation more than I even knew. And so it really took a toll on me, getting rejection after rejection from these casting directors who I would pedestalize and these producers who I thought were the shit. It impacted so much of my self-worth. And so I just came to a point where I was like, I can't keep doing this business. As much as I love the art of it and the craft of it, the business of it is really taking a toll on me. And that's when I really started getting into improv.
Okay.
Because improv was the thing that, there's this tenet of saying yes in it. And so it's just the thing that kept lighting me up. Every time I would go, there was a team element to it. You're not alone, you have to make the person next to you look like a genius, and vice versa. They're going to make you look like a genius no matter what. No one's letting you fall on your face on stage. Mm-hmm. And there was something about that just really lit me up and kept the fire going in me in the performance sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think when you and I first talked, it was not that long after you did a tour of a one-woman show, right?
Yeah.
So at what point did that come into play?
I'd always wanted to do a one-woman show. It's always been like desire of mine on the bucket list. After I went through a really intense relationship experience where I was kind of like dating two guys and pitting them against each other, and one ghosted me and I was chasing after him, and like just seeing like all these really intense patterns play out, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? So I actually ended up going to a 12-step program for sex and love addiction recovery.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very open about it in my show. And I think it's like a really powerful thing to share about, because while it is anonymous and you're supposed to be anonymous in the program, I like to share my experience of it, because I think it can really help a lot of people who may struggle with these things and not know that they could be like part of the problem, you know, at the end of the day. And so, yeah, I just kind of like woke up. Once I went into that program, I woke up to like all the ways that I was abandoning myself and putting relationships way ahead of my own self-worth and my own needs. That was really when I started writing, because it was all of a sudden the spotlight was on this shadowy part that I had never looked at. And so I'm like, whoa, like looking at the spotlight things and just writing down all my stories of my past relationships through the lens of my recovery and my responsibility in it. And so, yeah, it just, the stories started taking on like different characters. And I was like, oh, this is where my addict character was kind of playing out. And this is where my like intuition was speaking to me, but addict was ignoring her. And so they were pitting against each other. And then this is where higher power probably would have stepped in. And so I created this world of my internal characters and built my show based on that.
Wow.
So I wrote a whole show. It's called Breakup Addict. I ended up premiering it in, I think, December of 2022. And then by summer of 2023, I was taking it to Edinburgh for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Damn.
That's awesome.
That's so
like when
cool.
something's on, it's on, you know, when the universe is ready for something to be birthed, it just took on its own thing. So yeah, I'm very, very proud of that experience, and it was amazing.
How many shows did you end up doing?
I did 26 shows in 26 days. So an actual marathon, if it's like you're running a mile a day.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any breaks. Every day at 4:30, same theater, show up, do my show for an hour, leave, go get dinner, rest, do it all again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
Can you imagine?
I can't. I actually can't.
I don't know how. I really don't know how I did it. I don't know. They like channeled something beyond me.
I mean, yeah, they go dark on Mondays minimally. Like
yeah, exactly. Some people did take off. Like I was one of the few that didn't have a dark day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, more power to you.
Was that you just saying yes?
Yeah, that was me just saying yes. It's true. I worked with a producer and she was like, you could take a day off, but if you like really want to be in this and keep the momentum going, I would say don't do it. And I'm like, okay, great. Yes. I'm going to say yes to every single day. So
that's amazing.
What would you say the biggest, so that sounds like an amazing experience, and to have your work be kind of the focal point and go to Edinburgh for it. What would you say the biggest takeaway from that experience was? What did you learn?
I learned in a deeper way not to attach my success to external validation or external rewards. I had this, it's kind of like the culture of Edinburgh Fringe to get reviews, and you get reviewers that come to your show, and you get your 4-star review or your 5-star review, and then you take it and you tape it up on all of your posters throughout the town, you know? And so I was kind of banking on that. I was like, okay, I'm going to get like all these reviewers in. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to have all these testimonials I can put on my website. And I had one reviewer come the whole time I was there. And the day she came was the one day that my tech person called out sick. And I have these jokes that are baked into my tech because there's text messages on that project onto the screen during my show. It's part of the storytelling is to have my tech. And the girl who was running it, who was filling in, just kept messing up. It was the most improvised show ever. Like, I really had to bring my improv chops to it because I couldn't rely on the script. And I ended up getting a 3-star review, which, you know, I'm happy about that. It was the worst show I've ever done, and I got a 3-star review. But at the end of the day, I was like a little disappointed. And then I was like, why is this really impacting me so much? And I realized it was because I was so attached to this idea of getting the feedback in that way.
Yeah.
I had to like look at, okay, well, if I don't get any more reviews, if I get a 1-star review, will I still be proud of what I've created and what I've put up? And yes is the answer. I still get messages every once in a while, like DMs from people who I never met, who came to the show. And they were like, I saw your show a year ago, and this is how it impacted me. That's the stuff that I think is like the most important.
I mean, that's the flip though, right? Is like if you're able to hold, if it hit one person and it landed for one person and it made a difference for one person, that's all it needs, right? And that one person could be you, right?
Exactly. If it made a difference for me, that's all that matters. Like, it really helped with my healing, and that was the key.
I just hear so many people that like in performance or Twitter, but just like don't read the fucking reviews. They don't.
The comments.
Don't go in the comments. Don't read the reviews. We all do the same thing where
so
I could have 100 positive ones or 99 positive ones and one negative, and the negative one is the one it's
Yep. And it rings in your head and you fall asleep hearing the words. It's intense.
How would you describe your relationship now with external validation?
I've come a long way, and it's still a work in progress. Always.
Yeah.
I think I like have to consistently be checking myself and say, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for somebody else or for the likes? And especially as I was kind of sharing with Eric at our last growth group meeting about wanting to be more visible on social media and wanting to like share more video content, because I love doing videos and I love being on camera, and there's something that's kind of stopping me from fully leaning into that. Partially kind of some imposter syndrome stuff that we got to, but I just am working through, okay, I think the biggest fear is negative comments.
Yeah.
And that's what I still have to like learn to be with, because if you're going to be visible, you have to risk being disliked. And that comes with it. And I think that's okay. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to love you. And the people that do love you are the ones that matter. And that's who you're going to make a difference
Well, I was
for.
going to ask if you unpacked that at all, because I think from the outside looking in, it's like Paige is someone that loves doing improv. You open to this conversation with, if there's not a stage, I create a stage. Right?
Yeah.
If someone like that is feeling a certain way about putting themselves out there on camera, who am I? Right? I think there's a lot of power in you just kind of owning the fact that it's like, oh yeah, I'm still afraid of the comments.
Yeah.
If that's the thing. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so afraid of comments. When we first started even this podcast, I was like, okay, Eric, when we get to video, anything, I don't know if I could read the comments.
Don't read the comments.
And,
they don't.
And even sometimes the positive, right, too. I told him from the beginning, I need you to check my ego if there's ever moments where that's showing up in any kind of way.
It's not fucking healthy to read the comments. Like,
No.
one way or the other, like the positive ones, however,
yeah.
but it's just the only reason that it's useful is the having it as there's activity. If I just go, well, we got comments, positive, negative, I actually label them, and then it creates a whole thing. The reason that I'm adverse to comments is just nobody is going to say anything worse than what I say to myself. I am my worst enemy.
True that.
And worst critic. There's no words that you could use that are going to make me feel worse than anything that I do to myself. Right? It's just words. Maybe someone's having a bad day. You have no idea like what the hook is behind the words that someone uses, right?
Yeah. Not to bring it back to Taylor Swift, which I haven't done yet this interview. I did start.
We can go that route.
I did come and start talking about Taylor Swift.
Yes,
and
you did.
She's having a lot of criticism for this most recent album. And I watched an interview that she did, and she's like, art is a mirror for people. And sometimes they're going to like see some stuff in themselves that they're not going to like, or, you know, it's like a reflection sometimes. And I just like how she's sort of she owns it. She's like, this is my art. Not everybody's going to like it. And it might be a mirror for you. I'm like,
well, we can't make everyone happy. I want everyone to like me, but like I'm never going to make everyone happy, and not everyone's going to like me. And if you don't like me, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to try. Like, that's just kind of where I come from. And I think the thing about interesting with Taylor Swift, I know, Christina, you mentioned some stuff recently about just the flood of her fans being like up in arms about some of the, whatever the thing is with the new album. But I think so much of art is, I heard this definition, I might butcher a little bit, but basically, if I don't feel something, it's not art. And so I actually want it to be polarizing one way or the other, because it means I'm making a difference.
You're eliciting something.
I'm making a difference. But if I don't, so like no comments, is anyone listening, right? Is it moving the needle? Where art is designed to make me have a feeling.
Yeah.
It gives me a point of view. That's the power of art.
Yeah.
Well, because she said in one of the interviews, because I know that she's been doing a lot, and she said something to the effect of, yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of review you're leaving me right now. If you're talking about me in this first weekend, you're helping my album.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's honestly a little wild to me that there's videos of people who don't like it or don't like her, and they're recording these 10-minute videos explaining why they and I'm like,
yeah,
to me, I'm like, wow, to spend that much time on somebody that you don't even like. I'm not sitting here creating 10-minute videos of why I don't like Kanye. Like, why would I do that? Right?
Yes.
And the thing is his music is quite brilliant oftentimes, right? Especially in his early days. So, but anyone that I didn't like, I'm like, okay, cool, I won't listen to that. That's all.
Well,
that's it.
The sports
Right.
analogy is like my play. Like, so LeBron James gets traded to another team, and then I go burn his jersey. Who are you? What are you doing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Who's LeBron James? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know who that is. I was like, wait, you're bringing sports into this? I didn't agree to that.
We can go back to Taylor if you want.
That was perfect.
No, I'm just kidding. You can talk about LeBron James.
That's true too, though. I mean, sports is that's a really, really good place, because that's something where there's teams that are fighting. I mean, they're playing against each other. So of course I have this just instinct to be like, oh, I hate the other team. And yeah, that's a really good example though to bring up.
Have you gotten a super negative review or anything?
No.
Like a really negative comment?
Okay, so when I was in the height of this relationship situation that I was telling you about, I made a TikTok that went kind of viral. And the TikTok was essentially like, here's how I brought a guy back from ghosting. I can't believe I'm sharing this story. I was like, this is how I brought a guy back from ghosting. And it actually had some really practical like communication tool examples in it. And that was kind of the point. There wasn't really anything other than that, but people got so up in arms about how desperate it is to try to bring someone back from ghosting. This girl's desperate. This girl doesn't have, like, she's not even that cute. There was like all kinds of really cruel comments.
Sure.
And so I think that's traumatizing. That was actually some traumatizing stuff that happened to me, where I haven't fully gotten to the other side of it. Like, it still comes up every time I think about posting a video. Okay. I'm like, oh no, they're like all gonna tell me I'm not that cute. So I think I'm actually considering doing some subconscious work to kind of release some of those hooks that are in me still.
Yeah. So there is an experience that you had that was like, there's at least a scar there, if it's not still an open wound.
For sure. It's definitely icky.
Just the nature of what we're all entrepreneurs, and so you saying that, I'm like, okay, but if we had it under the lens of sales, people would be applauding you for still going after the person that ghosted, right? How crazy. Well, because really, like, how crazy that in one aspect of life, people are like, oh, they ghosted, try this or do that, or here's the next step or whatever, get that sale, close the deal. And because it's relationship based, people are like, oh my God, it's desperate.
Yeah. Yeah, like two different ways of looking at a similar situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just even like the comment that you said of like, she's not even that cute. That's not even like that bad of a thing to say. Is You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's not she's hideous and like I can't believe she's not going on dates with anyone.
I mean,
It's
I
like,
don't even remember what some of these comments
I'm sure
were.
that there was more to it. I'm just like, I hear why that would hurt, and it's of the spectrum of things that someone could tell me.
Totally.
It's like, it's pretty.
Well, to me, I think it's when it hits something that I might have already thought about myself. So to your point, Eric,
sure.
of I'm the worst to myself. And to this day, and I can picture this human from high school who to be honest, wasn't really making fun of me. If anything, he was pointing out data. I have been insecure about my armpits since I was in 4th grade when I started growing hair there, which I thought was very premature to start growing hair in my armpits. And I'll never forget this person telling me that my armpits were super sweaty. Like I did something where I cheered and I lifted my arms up, and I've always been so self-conscious about that. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure he was just like, oh, your armpits are sweaty. That's all he said. And I've never forgotten it. Like, why?
Oh my
right? But
gosh.
why? It's when it's a thing.
Different when it
the
hits.
thing that you're most insecure about that they're hitting.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's where saying something of like, she's not even that cute. If that's something that I've already thought about myself and I'm already insecure about.
Yeah, it reinforces.
That's the thing that I'm going to go,
Totally.
oh my God, gut
It's
punch.
a twist. It's a twist with the knife.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. I once heard it described as shame doesn't show up in any places where you have full ownership. It only shows up in places where you're insecure or are questioning. It was put more eloquently than that when I read it. But they hit the places in you, right? Again, mirrors. Like
Yes.
the
Yes,
comments
the
the
mirrors.
comment section is a mirror.
Well,
for us.
I mean, this is so Christine and I talk about this a lot, but like nobody can make me feel anything, right? And in the beginning of our relationship, Christine would be like, you would get upset. You're like, I don't fucking agree with that because I feel this way and you did this to me.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand it until, truthfully, we've done now 7 or so of these leadership labs with Rudy and doing a lot of that type of communication work and just having such a deeper understanding of the unconscious mind and just the awareness piece. And it was through doing that type of work that then I did have that realization of, oh, I understand what you, Eric, are now saying. I'm the one feeling it and I'm associating it with you because of whatever was said. But yes, you didn't make me feel the thing. So for me, I think it was a little bit on like my literal side of my brain too, that was taking it so literally. But yeah, that's something that has been a really big aha moment for me.
It's the same thing that what you just said around shame, right? It's if the shame is there when I've identified the shame, and it's just pouring gasoline on the thing that already exists.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And it was lighting the places where I was feeling desperate. You know, like that comment. But to your point, I think if it said something that was, her hair isn't blonde enough, I'd be like, I don't care. You know, it just
or your hair, her hair is too blue, and it's like, my hair's not fucking blue at all. What are you talking about?
Not the truth. It's equivalent to that, right? Exactly.
But there's a version of that's still happening. Is the comment could be her hair's not even blue, right? Or whatever it is. That's on the spectrum of what's true for me and what's not true for me, and how do I take it,
and how ridiculous it can be.
But there's a version of all of those comments are the same thing as your hair's not blue.
They're all the same thing as your hair's not blue. Name of episode. I don't know. You guys do a different title of episode. Your hair's not blue. Yeah, it's so true.
I'm the same around. It's like I care what people think, and people's opinion matters, and I will constantly think about things aren't good enough, and like, what's my role, and how can I make it better, and does it even need to be better?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the joke is, we're all walking around like that.
Every
you know,
one of
I feel
us,
like we're all walking around this planet being like, do you like me? Please like me. Most people, right? And other people doing the same thing. And how do I do more things to get you to like me? And how do I do more? Just be. Like, how do we just be and trust that the right people are going to gravitate towards that?
What were the things with the ghosting? How did you get, from a sales standpoint?
So from a practical standpoint, I'm going to make a LinkedIn video about this. How do you bring a sales prospect back from ghosting? Okay, let's see if I can remember. One of them, I think it was like, slow down and get clear on what you want, what your intention is or what your desire is here. And then 2 was to share The desire, well, I think 2 was like to find a place of unattachment where it actually doesn't matter whether they come back or not. It's about you expressing what needs to be said. And so you will feel complete no matter what, whether they come back or not. So like finding a place of being unattached and then expressing the desire from a place of unattachment and like a heart-centered space. So I thought it was great advice. I don't know.
It worked, right? It worked for you?
He came back. He came back for a temporary period of time.
Everything that you just said, though, I'm like, yeah, I could apply that to sales.
Yeah. Being unattached, I think you can apply to everything.
Yeah. Well, seriously, how often do we get attached to a potential sale?
Yeah.
It happens so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I can unattach myself, then, oh, okay. And not in a way, obviously, like I want to still pursue and close the deal. But if I don't have an attachment to it, then it's not going to hurt. It's not about me at all in that situation.
Well, I think Paige said it earlier about just like the outcome is the same thing as like the external validation. So the outcome is irrelevant. Is like if I love to be on the stage performing, whatever happens after that doesn't matter. You're doing the thing, and it's not dependent on the outcome.
Yeah.
From just what you shared in the beginning about the business side of like being picked. Right? When we were talking about that, I don't know if you're familiar with Seth Godin at all.
Yeah.
From just a marketing standpoint, but he's a very big proponent of like pick yourself. So improv for you was picking yourself, right? I'm not getting hired. I'm not getting the gig. I'm just going to go create my own troupe, whatever, and go perform because that's what I love to do, right? Rather than trying to get picked, because not everyone can handle the rejection and the 10,000 no's and all the time of learning how to interview just so I get to the opportunity to do it. Like that's a whole game in itself.
Totally. And I think that's something you can do in any moment is to pick yourself.
Yeah.
I say choose yourself. I feel like the energy of choose is, I don't know, I prefer the energy of that word, but choosing yourself in any moment is possible. And whereas it's a lot harder to wait for someone else to come and choose you. And that's kind of why I think entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs. We're like, I'm choosing my own path here and my own destiny.
Yeah.
I'm choosing myself.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so interesting. I'm just honestly kind of light bulbs going off in this conversation because I don't think I was ready at the point when I got out of college and I somewhat started to dip my toes in pursuing the acting career. And I think I was definitely just so tied to the external validation and being picked. And I knew I couldn't handle that shit. I was like, there's no way. And I think now it's interesting if I was just tomorrow and I said, I'm going to go pursue the acting thing, which I don't want to do anymore. I've evolved as far as like what my goals are, but I think I would be way more equipped to be able to handle that now. But at that age, there's just no way.
I don't know how people do it. This was after you graduated college?
Yeah, part of moving to Chicago was because they have at least somewhat of a scene there. I really wanted to do film over stage. And I know Chicago's not, it's more improv and it's stage and that kind of stuff. But that was certainly the intention, was to move to a city that was available. And I just barely, I absolutely cannot stand auditions. I'm so terrible in an audition room. Like that's the part where I do not do well. But I barely started to scratch the surface there, and I just let the hospitality industry suck me in. And I said, yeah, it's nice and cozy and easy in here, so this is what I'm going to do for a while. Yeah.
It can get really comfortable in that industry. You're making a lot of money. Hours are good. You're meeting people. It's a comfortable industry for sure.
Yeah.
It's fast money.
It's fast money, but it has a ceiling.
Yeah.
You know?
It does.
Yeah. A lot is relative, right? Like anytime I'm trading my time for money, there's a cap. And the thing about the hospitality industry is if I go on vacation, it's actually costing me double because I'm not at work and now I'm out spending money.
Whoa.
That was always the thing for hospitality.
That's a good point. I never thought of it.
That's the business mindset.
Yeah, it's costing
of like,
me double.
It's actually
not making any and it's all going out on the vacation.
Yeah. Wow. I would not have gone on vacation if I thought that way. If I like, had that in my mind, I would have never gone on vacation.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
This is just something that's always fun to ask people who have done theater. What was your favorite role that you ever did?
Oh, my goodness. Let's see. I played a young prostitute. That's the one thing that I'm thinking right now. We went to a motel in New Jersey to shoot this short film. That was wild. Let's see. I don't think that was my favorite though. I like playing, I don't even know what role it was, but I was in Angels in America. It's about addiction, and it's just a very intense kind of dark show, which I really liked. I was Beverly in the shadow box, which was really fun because she's kind of a crazy wackadoo character.
Okay.
So I like doing that. But I think in my one-woman show, my favorite character to play is Addict.
Okay.
Because she's just so lovable and so fucked up, and you know it. You can tell just how insane she is, but you want to get on her ride. I want to go over there. I want to chase that guy. I want to send him 17 more text messages, even though he hasn't responded to my first 20. It's let's go, girl. You just want her to win a little bit, especially at the beginning of the show. So yeah, Addict is really a fun one to play.
It's interesting because I feel like the majority of what you just named are either there's a darkness to those characters. Mm-hmm. So because now with improv, usually it's a lot lighter and happier. Obviously, there's people who have done improv and it can go in a dark place. So do you miss that side at all to kind of get a little bit more gritty and dark?
I don't know that I miss that side. I feel so much. I'm just a deep feeler.
Yeah.
So I cry multiple times a day. So I am good on the darkness. I feel grief every day. I just, for our world. And I do experience that. And so I think improv is such a good counterbalance to the deep feelings that I have, because it does bring that light and the joy.
Yeah.
I would love to do a dramatic play at some point, probably in the future, but
yeah,
nothing on the horizon right now.
That was always my favorite too. Oh, the dramatic pieces.
So fun, right?
So fun.
Do you remember your favorite role?
Yes. I'm a little torn between two. One of them, super dark. It was a show about, basically it was the parents' stories. It was a couple and then myself as a single mom that we had kids who had special needs, and the whole thing is about us basically abandoning the kids because it's too hard. This is too hard. Whoa. And I can't do it. Yeah, so that story was insane. It's a tie between that one, and then I did a show called Bengal Tiger at the Baghdad Zoo, and all my lines were in Arabic. So
what?
Yeah. So that was crazy.
Do you know Arabic?
No,
you had to learn?
Not it. The way that the script was written, it had it in Arabic, but they have a different alphabet, so that I can't read.
Yeah.
But then they had it in English and then phonetic English. So I just had to figure it out with the phonetic English, basically. But that one was so much fun. I mean, because we also got to, the stage was just a pile of rubble, and it was just so creative. It was so different from, I went to Kansas State and they were pretty conservative as far as what kind of shows they would even bring through that school. We were kind of just playing nice all the time. And so that was a little bit testing the waters and getting in just a little bit different. So that one was a blast. That's probably one of my favorite experiences, being part of a cast.
That sounds so unique.
Yeah. It was,
I don't know that many people can say that they did something like that.
Yeah.
That's
it was
cool.
wild. So that show was on Broadway for a little bit, and when it was on Broadway, Robin Williams actually played one of the characters. He played the tiger, and so it was cool because one of the props in it is a gold gun, and it's a very specific gun that gets referenced in the script, and so we basically sourced the same one that they used on Broadway. So that was really cool. I was oh, this is tied to the real show, the real deal.
Did Robin Williams touch that gun?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
neat.
Yeah. So that was
so special.
It was so, yeah, it was just so cool. Like, that whole experience was such a fun memory of being at K-State. Yeah.
For the two of you, since you're both talking about character, do you feel like you're playing a character as yourself ever? Like you're playing Paige and you're playing Christina? Or no? Because for you, it's a little checked out of that world.
Yeah. I'll let you go first.
Well, I feel like I have different versions of Paige. There's the Paige that kind of like shows up at networking events, and the Paige that's facilitating corporate events and speaking at a conference. And then there's like the Paige that I am with my friends that's a little more like casual and laid back. I just maybe like different versions, but I'm working more on like integrating that, being more of the permission to kind of be my full self in all corners of my life.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I feel like I'm playing a character necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you think.
I would agree. I feel like you know me the best, Eric, so you've
Debatable.
seen... What?
I said debatable.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like the people in my life, you have seen me at networking versus, right, all these different kind of places where I might show up a little bit differently, like what you're saying, right? But I definitely don't feel like I'm playing a character, because playing a character, I mean, it's so different. And I also don't think that I stepped into roles I feel like everyone acts in their own kind of way. Some people like different methods, right? And for me, it was like, no, I kind of just turn it on in that moment and I go. I'm not trying to kind of fester in something like before leading up to walking on to the stage, or it was... Yeah, so I think for me, that's a very different mindset of playing a character than just being Christina.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
What about you?
Do I feel like I'm playing a character?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Do you feel like you're playing the character of Eric?
Sometimes. I think when I ask that, it's not necessarily like putting on a front. There's different versions of us that I'm going to be more relaxed or more uncomfortable or more comfortable in certain situations, right? I think that's just natural. Mm-hmm. But for people that you know how to switch into character, right? And so, when you switch back, am I switching back to Paige? Am I switching back to Christina? Or is that just kind of like, this is my baseline and this is how it feels to be me? Is there a differentiation between the switch? Is probably a more clear way to ask that question. Because I think we all show up different in different situations, and it's not Severance. There's only one of me. And there's a more professional version of me, and then there's a more casual version of me. The reason I asked that question, that one of my favorite actors and just humans is Jim Carrey. He's talked about there is no me. Like, Jim Carrey is just a person that I got the part, and I've been playing it really well for however many years, but there's no me, right? And there's tied to ego and personality and all that stuff. So the way I'd re-ask that question is like, do you feel like when you switch between characters and go back to quote unquote you, that's a character, or that's just a default?
I don't know. I've never considered this before. And I have seen that interview with Jim Carrey. I think it's fascinating. What I am thinking about as you're saying this is how I think that can help with the disconnecting from the comment section.
Yeah.
And being like, that's
on camera Paige.
That's on camera Paige, right? My alter ego here that's performing. Because I do, when I am on camera, I'll turn it up. Yeah. Like I do, naturally. And so I think that could be like a really just powerful tool to be like, hey, they're not actually commenting on who I am. They're commenting on this version that they saw,
right?
Which is a character version.
Which is also just a sliver of the entire experience. That is
a small sliver. You
anyone.
Don't even know. You don't even know half of who this woman is. Right, exactly.
Well, that's another interesting thing that I just has become more aware to me is like, so we just met you in, again, sliver of your life, and we've known you for 6 months? It's 9 months maybe. And you have all of this experience of an entire life that you've led that's gotten you to Carlsbad and now, right? And this conversation's helping me understand a little bit more about you. It's just kind of like pulling small threads. But we like meet someone and then we instantly judge them and we put them in a box and we do all of these things with only knowing so little.
One side of their cube, as you would say.
Yeah, one little piece of not even a side, like one little corner.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's so interesting. And like we make decisions based off of that. We make really nasty comments based off of that. Right?
On the other side of the coin is like we decide we can trust them fully and,
Yeah.
invest all of our time into them or hire them without knowing fully who this person is. And
Yeah.
it's interesting.
We are all very interesting entities.
Well, just these different versions of who we all are. And I'm like, okay, which one of me do I feel like is the truest me? Is it the one that's like who I am when I'm all by myself and I'm being a complete weirdo at home? Because my inner monologue, if I'm home alone, it's being spoken the entire time I'm home. Like it's
I would love to hear that.
I've walked in and she won't know I'm home yet, and she'll be like in the bathroom just like talking to herself. It's just
your inner monologue is outer.
It's external.
It
yeah,
comes
it's,
out.
it's
It'll
an
come
outer.
out. If I'm if I know I'm alone, it'll come out. And it's interesting too, because I'm not having the other side of the conversation. I think the other side of the conversation, and then I'll say out loud what my side of the conversation would be.
No, she literally talks to herself.
You're having full on, not just a monologue. That's
sides.
a dialogue.
Two sides.
That's a
dialogue.
That's a dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a
I
two-person
guess.
scene going on in your head. You're yes-anding yourself, which is sometimes hard to do. Congratulations.
So that's the completely alone, no one's home Christina. Well, I guess Eric's.
I have a very, again, small sliver of it, but yeah, I've gotten a taste.
That's so good.
I live with a crazy person. It's okay.
Yeah,
So good.
that's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that the real? Is that the quote unquote real you? Is that
Yeah.
the true you? Is that the
Yeah, it's like which part of
Authentic
and maybe
you.
maybe it's
Yeah.
all of it combined, right? Because like you said, we're not severed. We are all of ourselves, and we just will show up differently around different people, sure, but they're all versions of who I am.
It's
That's
always interesting to
fascinating.
me because, like, again, so I think there's a level of awareness that really great performers, really great actors have, that they're able to be more aware about, well, if I was this person in this situation, I would do this. And I'm always curious if that stays with them or not.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a really great actor just has really heightened awareness to the point they're breathing in a different way.
Right. Of other people. Of like how other people
Well, their
are
surroundings
being
and how they're being in that surrounding, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what makes someone great, is they're able to put themselves completely in that character.
It makes me think of, I used to, when I was living in New York City, I used to do this game I played with myself where I would just follow people and try to walk like them. And I would try to emulate their walk. Because if you notice, you've probably done this in acting classes, is walking with your chest forward, walking with your shoulders hunched. There's different ways, different parts of your body can lead. Everybody walks in different ways, different strides, movements, right? And so I would do that. I would follow people and just try to like feel how they would walk. And like I'd walk like them right behind
I'm
them.
gonna try on. I would describe it as you would try on people's walks
I would try on people's walks.
and see how they feel.
Oh my God, that's so
fun.
creepy. No wonder I'm like a rickety gate. I'm just a creepy haunted house today.
Oh my gosh.
A fun house.
But how fun. And then to do it in New York City, that's just like the perfect place to do that.
You finished, you tried on, I tried on their walk, time for another one. And this the
Did you ever
person-
get caught?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because that would be so
Nobody
funny.
notices.
No,
one notices
everyone's
anything in New
head
York.
down and walking fast and like, where's my next location? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, everyone's in their own world.
That would be really funny. Or even funnier, someone catching you from like across the street or behind you or watching you do it, right? Like, so you're following somebody and you're trying to do their walk, and then someone else is following you, watching you trying to do that other person's walk.
Yeah.
Like, that would be hilarious.
It's a good bit.
If it's not a bit, it's like a little segment of a movie.
Yeah.
Well, let's turn it into a meet cute, because
scene.
that's the best.
Oh my God. Wow. So romantic. She was trying on my walk when we met.
How did you meet? Well, I was trying on his walk, and it just felt so right.
Oh my God. I just knew. I was like, I'm walking my soulmate's walk. He's my soulmate.
Twin flames.
My twin flame. Yeah, exactly.
How funny. Honestly, the next time I go to New York, I'm like, okay, activity.
Just do
Add
it,
to
like-
the
You can do it
list.
here.
You can do it here, walking around North Park.
We could. I mean, I definitely could. I mean, yeah, that's the thing is I'd
Just
have
gotta
to
go
go to
people
somewhere where
watch.
there's more people.
Yeah, I mean, it was Oktoberfest all month. Like, just go to an Oktoberfest.
Oh my gosh. There you go.
Go to a little
Just follow
festival.
the
Easy.
drunk people.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy breezy. Yeah. So what else, guys?
I was just listening to one of the episodes today and just being able to take someone's, this is your career too now, I mean, but very much started from a passion and it's something that you do and it's an activity. It's so different, I think, from so many people who are in this like entrepreneurial space, and it's so fun to talk about something and be able to relate that to business, relate that to just life in general, and what are all the parallels and what am I learning from everything that I'm doing in an improv space where it's yes and being able to apply that to just life. Love all the metaphors that come up and just lessons, and it's such a different way to, I think, learn or hear about that kind of lesson. What can I resonate with because it's coming from a different lens?
Yeah, I love applying anything to the context of improv. Business, relationships, like literally anything can be looked at through an improv lens and worked through, I think, through an improv lens because of like the foundational tools of it. So yeah, it's so fun. I love doing it.
Well, I think we were at one of your sessions at Downtown Works, and I think one of the ways you framed it, and I had the only reason I really remember this is just had multiple people kind of, I saw them just kind of, oh, you're right. You basically framed it as, did you script out your entire day to get here to this? It's like, no, you improvised. The phone rang, you picked it up. That's all improv. Like most of our lives is improv.
Yeah.
It's just not framed that way.
Totally.
But we're not robots following a script and maniacally kind of just going through step by step by step by step.
We're improvising all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that improv, the trainings of improv and classes and the schools that teach improv give you the tools to prepare for the unexpected, prepare to be unprepared. And that's, yeah, I think that's like a thing that everybody can use because we are not always prepared for what's going to happen. And especially right now in this climate and this culture, just never know what AI is going to disrupt your business tomorrow or what's going to happen to your favorite employee tomorrow. Like there's just so much that's unexpected. How do you prepare for that? And improv gives us a lot of tools to be able to do that.
There was a phrase that just popped in my head as you were talking about that, but it was that I learned a long time ago. It was just off balance on purpose. So being intentionally putting myself in places where I don't feel 100% so that I can learn how to recalibrate, right? And improv is very much that. It's like jump off the deep end of the pool.
Yep.
You're in it.
Throw
playing.
yourself in the
We're playing.
discomfort. We're playing. You're here. You're on stage. Say yes.
Say yes.
Yeah. And trust yourself, trust your tools, trust your scene partner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to just have you talk a little bit about your journey in the last year or whatever it's been since Yes & Co. and how that's going and how it's been.
Yeah. So teaching improv and connecting it to business has been something that I've been doing since I started my first company, which was a video marketing company. And so I just saw all the parallels between my improv background and how I was able to really grow this business in a powerful way. So I just started doing some workshops for my friends here and there, just some like entrepreneur improv classes, come on by. So it's always been something that I've loved doing. And when I moved to San Diego, I was kind of like in a transition period and I really didn't know what was next for me. And I just kept getting these hits of improv play. Like, this is a gift that you have. It's time to like really share this. And that's when I kind of started up that business again and got back into the rhythm of teaching and facilitating improv again. And so it's been awesome. I've been doing some networking improv events, which is great. I partnered with you guys and Downtown Works to do that. Those have been incredible. I love getting the feedback from those because I love validation, but like also just because it's good to get to know that I'm on the right path and on the right track. And doing some some workshops for corporate retreats. I have 2 speaking engagements coming up, possibly a third, for like groups of 100 and 250 people. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm really getting a lot of cool opportunities that I'm super excited about. And yeah, 6 Degrees has been so instrumental in supporting me through just connecting me with the right people and helping me with some of the partnerships and getting my events filled. So I'm just really grateful to you guys for how it's supported me and this business.
What's the vision? What's the long term, couple years out from now? Like, where do you want it to be?
I mean, I really see the speaking part of my business taking off. I would love to be traveling, going to, different conferences and conventions and leading keynote talks that are interactive and actually have people doing the exercises at their seats with the people next to them. That's a big part of my vision, is having the speaking. And I would love, like in a dream world, right now it's just me, I would love to bring on other facilitators. I know amazing improvisers who are also amazing teachers, which that doesn't always happen. And bringing them in to like help them get work and connect them to some opportunities. So yeah, ideally I have clients all over the country and I can be sending facilitators and training them in the process that I take clients through and take my participants through. So yeah, that's the vision.
I love it.
Yeah.
The keynote stuff, that's really cool. And I appreciate that a lot too, because I feel like with the nature of AI, this conversation is happening so much, but I think the people who are doing stuff that is for human to human connection is already so important, and I feel like it's just going to continue to become more and more important. And so I'm just picturing the keynote piece at this really large event with people who are probably even nervous to talk to their neighbor, and so being able to break that ice and be able to do something like an exercise and get more comfortable, and yeah, that's really powerful.
Yeah. The talks that I'm doing that are coming up, one of them is closing out the conference and the other one's opening the conference.
Oh.
So I think it'll be interesting to sort of see the difference. But yeah, I think having an opportunity where you're not just talking at people, but allow them to engage with each other and actually practicing these tools in real time is going to be, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Well, to that point, do you have a specific example of someone you've worked with where you've seen a shift happen or a powerful moment where you're working with someone? Like, because I think on the surface level, improv is and play, it kind of is like a quote unquote serious business person is like, yeah, whatever.
We don't
it's
need
kind,
that.
It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like the word culture 20 years ago is culture, whatever. So I'm
Yeah.
curious if you have like a really proud moment that you've had that you've led or facilitated.
Yeah, I did a workshop at Morgan Stanley and I worked with their women in IT. And so one of the biggest issues was because they're in more of a male-dominated world, they felt like weren't really in touch with their own inner confidence and didn't really feel like, didn't know how to speak up. And that was some of the things they shared at the beginning was, I don't really, I try to speak up and I get talked over or whatever. By the end, you could just feel the energy was so different with these women. And one woman raised her hand and said, I'm so excited to talk in a meeting tomorrow and like share my voice. And they really got connected to their confidence, And so I think when you give people access to their sparkle and their ability to express themselves, that's an investment in your bottom line at the end of the day. Like those people are going to show up, they're going to love being there, they're going to engage with other people. That culture is going to ripple effect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool to have someone, a thing that most people would just take kind of for granted of, I can't wait to express my voice, like bring my voice to the Monday meeting that we have every single week.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's very cool. That's the reward. I love hearing what people get. That's like my biggest reward from my work. It's when people can share like what they what they're really walking away with.
Yeah.
Confidence, energy, excitement, those are all great. Sometimes I'll have people rate how they feel, like on a scale of 1 to 10, put up the number of fingers you feel at the beginning and then at the end. And it's usually everybody's 10s by the end. That's a really fun kind of like.
When we'll do check-in reinforcement with the groups, most of the time if we do, what's your energy level, like it goes up during the time in the small group. So
Yeah.
I would imagine, it just
So good.
especially adults, like we need reminders to play. That's a lost art.
It is such a lost art. Our inner children are begging for it. Yeah, totally.
Well, since you mentioned reinforcement, do you have a reinforcement for this conversation?
Is there another sound? Did the sound change?
Did the sound change? Okay.
Stick with the sound. The sound thing is interesting to me. Is there a sound that you would use to describe how you're feeling now, I guess? Maybe a different.
Okay. If someone has it, I mean, go for it.
That's what came to my mind.
Mine was very like...
Deep breath, exhale.
But like a very like whimsical. I don't know.
I don't know that I can do it, but what's in my head is like the thing where you like pull it.
Oh, like the whistle pole thing?
Oh.
It's
Like
Yeah. I can't do it either.
I don't.
Yeah, but it's not like a whistle.
No, it's not a whistle.
No,
It's
it's
like
like
I pull it down and it goes.
That's beautiful. It's a good one.
That was awesome. Okay, I knew that this was going to be so fun, and so this was so fun. So thank you. I mean, even just like the intro.
Because that was it. We're at. Is it 2 hours? Hour and a half?
Yeah.
Hour and a half. See,
We're at our time.
it goes by so
Yeah.
fast.
Wow.
That's why John said, it's like 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we
that
could have.
just
I know, could
flew
have.
by.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. I couldn't have predicted what we were going to talk about.
No,
It just
and
kind
that's-
of it goes all different directions. That was great.
Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of it. And that's part of why we wanted to, the setting, like all of this really matters for people to just relax and whatever comes up, comes up.
Yeah.
Well,
But thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
Great.
Yeah, this was so great.
Definitely the most playful episode that we've had.
It was the most playful episode. So for this deep dive,
What are we playing with?
what are we going to
Fire.
play
We're
with?
playing with fire.
Okay, so this was so silly. It was silly. The amount of times that we said, don't read the comments on this episode. Literally, when I got home after we recorded, I not only read, but responded to a DM that landed on LinkedIn. So I guess that wasn't my takeaway from the episode.
Missed that message.
Whoops. Yeah. Well, yes, and I think it was a good learning experience and practice for me to I was being very
Yeah, I think you got to color in this what you're describing.
sure. I
a
mean,
little bit.
yeah, it was just I shot and I missed with somebody on LinkedIn, right? I had an ask that was just not really wanting to. What's up?
So I'm gonna pause you. Like I guess shot and a miss sounds like I'm reaching out to someone and I'm trying to get them I'm closing a deal or something. Like you were involved in someone. If I know who you're talking about and what we're talking about, is you just asked to be not included on something that felt like spam.
Correct. Yes.
Right?
I was being tagged in posts that were not about me. Like I wasn't in like a photo or something, right? It was promoting. It was a promotional kind of a post, And so yes, so when I say I shot and I missed, it was more of my attempt to ask to not be tagged in these posts did not land with the receiver at all.
Yeah. So intention impact.
Intention impact. Exactly.
Was it intention impact miss?
Miss. And so I went through a few things, even just reading it, right? So it was immediate body reaction of, right, the feeling in my stomach, the sweatiness, the oh my gosh, the feeling of like I'm being attacked when it wasn't, right?
You're talking about your response to after you asked.
So yeah,
what they said back.
What they said back, right? So their message back. So I took a moment and I took a deep breath and I said, okay, clearly how I phrased it, regardless if I think it was the right way to phrase it or not, it doesn't matter. It's the receiver who they're the ones who are perceiving the tone and everything about that interaction. So either way, I thought really hard about, do I respond? Do I not respond? And I decided to, even though we literally just talked for 2 hours with Paige about not reading comments and not letting us, get hooked. And the reason why I decided to respond is because I just wanted to try again. Like I wanted another attempt at trying to use conscious communication, trying to use, in my awareness and go like, okay, wait, how do I get my message across? And right. Because I guess, yeah, I want to sharpen those skills. Mm-hmm. And was that the best situation or scenario to do so? Maybe not, but what ended up happening was a positive reaction afterwards. I owned up to the miss of like, okay, this didn't land, and just was able to say that this is where I was coming from, and it ended up being we came to an understanding.
Sure.
After having a short conversation.
Yeah.
So yes to don't read the comments.
Well, it's just funny, as obviously I understand like the reason that you're sharing that in this medium with an audience, but I just remember while you were in it, me being like, I do not want to get hooked into the drama that you're in. Yeah. Right. And more of, you were asking for just guidance of like, hey, this is what happened, and I was trying to not get tied up in it, right? Mm-hmm. And here we are talking about it more, which again, so it's I think I say that more of just when drama is juicy, mm-hmm. right? It's so easy to get hooked into it and to get pulled in without even realizing it. And I was just trying, like, I was happy to help, and I wanted, and even now, like, talking through it at this level, I think is still helpful, and there's probably some nuggets in learning with it. But at the same time, I'm also holding like, ooh, yeah, this is still a recently healed wound for you at the very least.
Well, but I don't think it was a wound though, and I think that's why I was able to respond. It didn't hurt my feelings. I didn't take it personally because I knew that it was a miscommunication. Sure. I knew it wasn't about me. Whatever was said, like in their messaging, whatever was said, I knew that wasn't about me because that person doesn't know me. Right. So I mean, honestly, I think maybe even the conversation that we had with Paige probably put me in the right mindset to go, oh, I don't need to take that personally. That has not, like, I don't need to take that personally. I just simply missed on my communication, and that's the thing to potentially recover if I want to.
Yeah, I mean, so much of that is just it. So what most of us don't do is that missed, let me back up and try it again. Right. Most of it, it's easier to just go, that missed, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah, and get hooked into the drama, right? Like what you just said.
And take it personally and get, feel hurt and all these things that all because it's just like, again, to trace it back is like, I just respectfully didn't want to be included on something that I was being tagged in.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was just a really funny I guess ironic. Sometimes I don't know if I'm using ironic in the right way. But the fact that we literally talked about it for 2 hours, or at least it was a big part of the conversation.
Sure.
And then that same exact, I mean, we drove home and I opened my computer and that was what I spent time responding
It's a little bit, so the comments are public and the comments are anonymous. And the big reason that when people say ignore the comments is because they don't have, there's not much credibility, right? There's not much, right? There's just less to it, but it's a little bit different, like private message conversation with someone. But usually the reason to ignore the public critics is because there's nothing about that has any weight, right? It's literally just words, and who the heck knows?
Well, I'm curious when it comes to, so we have, our social media is really more, at least for the business, is really more on LinkedIn. And so don't read the comments, but it's, where does the balance come in of, right? You've talked about how one of the reasons to hold off on turning on marketing on certain platforms is because of the capacity to be able to respond to comments and engage with the people who are following and who are fans and everything else. And so how do I not read comments if part of the job is to engage with the audience?
Yeah. Do you want to play the game? Because you don't have to play the game.
Say more.
Instagram, you can turn off comments, right?
I can.
As an example. So I don't have to play the game of responding to people. I don't have the opportunity for it to be read, right?
Well, right, but
with what you're saying, I hear what you're saying is like, so if we need to be engaged with our audience, we need to interact with the people that are posting, liking, commenting. Someone has to read them to be able to do that.
Right.
Right. So sure. And so strategy, what's the strategy? What do we want to do? What do we have the bandwidth for? Right. I would tell most people from a marketing standpoint, as a small business owner, it's probably more effective to, as the owner, spend time hearing what your clients have to say, hearing what your customers have to say, reading that, owning it. If they mess up, responding publicly to that. I guess the don't read the comments part is like when I put something out into the world, and one way or the other it makes people react in a positive or negative way. Don't read into what is being said as much as not just ignoring ignoring the conversation. So to your point, like the personal part of it, it's probably still going to be really helpful for me to actually read and have a pulse on, like, if I'm on Yelp and I get 5 reviews and I'm pick a small business, and they're all negative, I should read that. I should listen to that, and maybe I should change something about my business.
Sure.
Right? Like that's important feedback. There's a difference between kind of what Paige was talking about, where she put herself out there and all of this stuff flooded, and positive, negative, the comment section, or people like judging a thing, right? If I make a piece of art, if I write a book, right? Or Amazon reviews, like it's to what degree does that help me? Most of the time it's not going to be helpful. Small business owner, more in like the more of the care side of the business, like I need to know what's going on. I need to be able to fix it.
Yeah.
Versus, like someone's just trolling, right? And I can take that personally. So I think there's kind of layers to it, but like from a strategy standpoint, more effective to read the comments, post about the comments, like them, react, own it if there's a miss.
Well, it's a real life example for me as a fan is Armchair Expert, where so Dax will go and respond to comments when people comment on their Instagram, and Monica doesn't read them at all, and she does that because she wants to protect her own mental health and not get sucked into whatever people are saying, positive or negative.
Yeah.
And Dax he's been straightforward about, like when I see any engagement that he does, it's usually to the people who are saying something positive. I think there's been a couple of times that he can't help himself and he'll respond to somebody who said something negative or mean or whatever the thing is.
That's the drama that's getting hooked.
Well, yeah, but here's from like the fan perspective, it's, oh, I'm more likely to comment on one of these posts with the chance that he will respond and interact with it. So like, of course, like the marketing side is, yeah, I want to be able to engage and respond and have people excited that I might respond and whatever. And yet I can't just like skip what do I do? What kind of tool is available to me to skip the negative ones? And then also, this is another thing, is if I am skipping negative ones or I'm like not even reading any comments or whatever the thing is, how do I make sure that my platform it continues to be a safe space? What if there's someone bullying somebody else like within the comments? Because that happens all the freaking time.
Sure.
Right? Which I understand too. It's like Instagram, I don't own it. I mean, I have like a handle and I have a page on it, but Instagram owns the platform. So it's not necessarily my responsibility to create a safe space and what's on brand for us to, you know, if there was somebody who was being a bully. So there's just I understand, like, don't read the comments because of like how that can take a toll. As
a creator, as someone that is creating stuff, as someone that is like putting themselves out there.
Yeah. The
simple advice is don't read the comments.
Sure.
Right. I think to like even the armchair expert example is, Dax is someone that, and obviously the two of them have been doing it for a while now, but Dax is a public figure. He's an actor. He has thicker skin than Monica, right? Of just being in the public eye and paparazzis and...
Sure, he's gone through
He's married
a lot.
to a celebrity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's very different than someone that's on a podcast that wasn't even visual for so many years, right?
Sure.
So I think the level of thick skin that I can have we all have different variations at different times.
Yeah.
It depends on if I can handle comments or not. But just time and time again, like the peanut gallery, talking shit and trolling and attacking the character of someone isn't going to be helpful.
And there's so many bots.
Yeah.
There's so many bots on these platforms that are picking fights. Just, again, how do I keep people on the platform?
Yeah, it's designed, so part of it is, and it's, so marketing, so much of marketing is social media, and social media is just one, it's not even a strategy, it's a tactic, right? So the most effective thing that I could do is not be on the platform, but do something in a way that gets people talking on the platforms. Right. And then I don't have to play the game. It's a game. Mm-hmm. And the game is designed to take my attention, for me to interact and engage, and that keeps people on it and ask questions, right? It's happening with AI too.
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
It just keeps asking questions, because as humans we're trained to answer the question
instead of
turning the question.
And turning the question.
But yes. what is when it asks me a question, what is it doing? It's going to get an answer. Uh-huh. And then it's going to ask another question. And what is it doing? It's keeping me on the platform. So yes, and there are businesses that have blown up and have success on certain social media platforms, and some of them are necessary. LinkedIn has been really helpful for us in terms of outreach and trying to find the right people.
Yeah.
And at the same time, what if we didn't do what's if we shifted our energy to doing other things to be more effective with our efforts? There's probably ways to do it without being on social media. Social media, it's sold and packaged as a free thing. It's like there's no cost to it. It's like, but to do it right and to do it well, there is.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and to your point about if we're doing things well, then other people are sharing what we're doing on those platforms, which has happened plenty of times.
Yeah.
it's and even on Instagram, we have been tagged in stories and we've been tagged a lot on Instagram, and we don't even, I mean, that page is not, it's almost non-existent.
Yeah, we have to talk about the Instagram. I think you I'm not gonna say you did this, but you bought, or not bought, you got the 6 Degrees Connections handle, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a misstep, because we can't transfer one to the other. We actually have to delete that and then take it back. But there's like a time frame. Last time I did it with when we took over 6 Degrees, we lost. Someone else took 6 Degrees Networking before I could get it back. There's like an open market. And if anyone's just like,
okay,
oh,
this is an off-air conversation. That's like, that does not need to be part of this conversation.
Anyways.
One more thing I wanted to talk about from Paige's episode. How fascinating to essentially, in my mind, when she was describing her one-woman show and basically being able to play different parts of herself, what a freaking cool way for therapy, really, right? To work through something and like break down. At least, I mean, that sounded really cool for me. It probably is not for everybody and not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought that would be such an interesting way to play out all the different parts of, right, like what's going on. She talked about how she loved playing addiction and addict. She loved playing addict. I think that would be so fascinating if there was, and I'm sure, honestly, I'm sure it exists. I've heard, so drama therapy exists because that's something that I almost wanted to do for graduate school. But I just don't like school that much. So I said, no, thank you. And there was different things that people I saw doing that was really fascinating. Some of it was like going in and doing different drama activities in prisons. There was this one touring group that really, I mean, what they did was improv. It was helping people work through trauma. And what it wasn't that person playing the parts. That person would tell their story, and then they would, the improv group, they would act it out. So they would listen to the entire story, and then they would act out the whole story. And for a lot of people, that was really healing. So this is just another avenue and way.
We talked about that similar thing with Rick on a recent episode, where there's getting whatever my story is, standing up and getting outside of myself and looking at myself in a chair. Yeah. Right.
Easter egg for a future episode. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think, that's not, I mean, drama therapy is, and everything that what's interesting is I don't know that it needs to be public, right? Like I think just even if Paige, like what she described was, even if she just wrote it out of like, here's a character and this is a part of me and I'm all of these different characters and here's me and that.
Sure.
The next level is going and performing that for 26 days and
yeah.
Right. But I think even just writing that out and the process of going through that.
Oh yeah, that's
right?
that's
that
part
would be,
of
that would
the
be
therapy.
that would be therapeutic in itself. Yeah. To perform it is like a whole nother, like that's not going to be for everyone, right?
Sure. No, I mean not everyone wants to perform. Yeah. That's certainly
interesting.
That's a whole other traumatic fear.
Interesting for what you just said around like having someone act out like a traumatic experience and to see it like a movie.
Yeah.
Right. Basically, and not have it be the personal experience of it. Right. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that's pretty powerful for people.
Yeah, I was really intrigued by it and that kind of work. I was interested in it, but I almost think I was interested in it for like the wrong reasons, and certainly was not. I'm glad I didn't try and go down that path. I think I was just really intrigued by like being in these prisons or like doing these, like it just seemed like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe getting hooked in some of the drama of it all. Literally, and then it not really being something that I was stepping into for genuine reasons. And I don't know if that's entirely true.
Sure.
It's been a long time since that was, and again, it was a blimp of a consideration. It was part of my major, I took a couple classes where I experienced stuff like that. I did like a drama therapy class, which was also really fun because the majority of the people in that class were not theater students at all. It was mainly people in like psychology classes, and they wanted to be doctors and different things. And so I was one of the very few people in that room that was a theater student.
What's your current appetite for acting or theater or anything at this stage in your life?
I feel like it doesn't sound super attractive, but I think it's more about the process that I'm not attracted to. And if there was something that I was in and I just got a bite of it, I think that appetite would grow. It's funny that you asked me that, because I literally wrote down as I was listening to Paige's episode, she said something about how she's a deep feeler, and I wrote down, I was like, "Ooh, me too." And then I was right after that, because she started talking about the different roles that she played and that she really loved, and she doesn't really want to go back into like the really kind of deep and dark stuff. But I still wrote down, I was like, "Paige, can we do a dramatic play together?" That would be so much fun. I think that's what I would have to do. It would be an angle like that, where it would literally just be a fun project. It's with somebody that I already know. There's no like going and auditioning and going through that process, because that literally makes me want to cry right now thinking about having to audition.
Sure. I mean, that came up on the episode. I think Paige liked the word choose yourself instead of pick yourself. But if it's something that I love, just go. I mean, we started at 6 Degrees because we were new to a city and didn't really have a place for us to go with things that we wanted to do in the way that we want, exactly how we have this set up. So we started our own. We picked ourselves, chose ourselves. Acting could be the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I did that with starting this podcast. I feel like it was very much, I want to do something creative, and this is a way for me to do that with it being something that I'm choosing, right? It's
Right,
the story that I want to tell, and it's the way that I want to tell it, versus auditioning for somebody else's story and somebody else's words, which sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to play somebody else's character and do that. I think this is a small little taste of it, and it certainly isn't like the full experience of acting.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a version of performing.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's for you, it's probably scratches that itch way more than me. I'm just on here for the ride, and
yeah.
I try to ask some questions, and
yeah.
I don't like, even I just think back to that whole episode with Rudy and how that so much of the performative aspect in the first couple episodes we did, I'm like, what? Like, I'm not used to this scripted, acknowledging the audience, all that stuff. And so yeah, for you, for the record, I feel like I didn't pick this.
This was
right?
no, Christina picked this one
for us.
Right?
And
Eric said, "Okay, darling, I will do the thing."
And I'm glad I did, and I'm glad how it's turned out. I think it's been fun. I think there's been an interesting thing for me with this process is, so I'm still way behind on all the episodes. I think I'm at 10. I think it's opened up my eyes to a little bit more about, as someone that's so cognizant of the brand and wanting everything to be perfect, and this has been very hands off for me, and it's going really well, right? So I think that has been, it's like, how do we apply that concept to other parts of this business? And where do I actually fit in? Because this is an example. I just get to show up by talking to the thing, and
Wow.
A week later, it's out into the world, and I literally don't even know how. Like, we're on 20 something. I'm like, hopefully it's going well.
What a concept. Eric, that's a really amazing realization. Think about the things that you've expressed even the last couple weeks that you've been holding on to and really not, I think, gotten to a place of being comfortable, like letting go of those reins. And yeah, look at this as an example. That's certainly, I mean, there's a lot of things that you brought to it to make sure that it's still on brand and it's a wow experience, right? You've got the logo on the screen, you've got the candle lit, you've got the space, right? There's certain pieces that it took us a minute to even get to that point with knowing like how we want the space set up, but that was certainly your touch that you brought to it. And then once that was done, it was like, okay, yeah, like the rest of it's good. And then, yeah, it is on brand. And I feel like even the posts about it on LinkedIn and everything, like all of that's been going really well. And yeah, you just get to come hang out. And
yeah, what if the whole business was that?
What if it were?
How do we get there? That sounds interesting. That sounds fascinating.
That sounds cool. All right, well, how do we sign off with using sounds, since that was the way this episode started and reinforced? Come on, do it for Paige. I meant like, how would you do put her there, bub? That's our signature. So how would you do that? Like, what does it sound like?
Like someone drowning.
Like someone drowning?
Yeah.
I think bub is like a little